have you. And so I made this little tool. I just want to show y'all how it works. If you're, well, some of those are loose already. There we go. Pop. See how it busts that loose and it doesn't break the wood? My problem was is most of the time when I did this, I would use a crowbar, a big crowbar, and I had to hammer it, you know, drive it up under there with a hammer and pry on it, and usually I'd end up cracking the board. Okay, now some of them you're going to run across, because they are throwaway pallets, are going to be already cracked. Okay, now here's the middle. See there? See how it pops that up without breaking it? You save a lot of wood. And this stuff on a homestead, this stuff comes in handy. You know, it may take a lot of them, but you can make a wall of a chicken coop or a new rabbit tree with this stuff. All you have to do is collect it. And if you've seen shots that I made around all my yard, in amongst all the other junk in my yard, you'll find that, you'll notice there, didn't break it. You'll notice that I have a whole bunch of pallets around here. Okay. Now, it gets a tad bit trickier, but if you notice the way I made this with about 4 inches in between here. And the reason I did that is because I wanted to be able to have room for sure if I was to. See there? That way, see there's two. They're not full 2x4s, but if they were 2x4s, I'd still have room. See? See that whole piece? There it goes. You gotta watch out for the nails, of course. I used, if anybody wants to make one of these, unless you figure out a way to, you know, bolt the pieces together or whatever, you're gonna need a little welder of some kind, or have a buddy that got a welder. Maybe you can buy him a soda or a 6-pack and he'll weld it up for you. But the dimensions aren't that critical. What I did was I selected a piece long enough. This is 7 inches. This is 1/4 inch cold roll steel, 2 inches wide and 7 inches long. And I put 2 of them on there, obviously. And I started out with 1/8 inch, 1 1/4 by 1 1/4, or 1 1/2 by 1 1/2. It doesn't matter. Whatever you use, what you got. And but 1/8 inch wasn't thick enough. Okay, and it bent. So I went back, and yes, my welding's nasty, but I have taken apart several pallets with this thing, and it's held. It's not even bent. Originally it bent, and I went back and I welded this big old thick. This is a 1/4 inch piece of 1/4 inch thick angle iron. I didn't even weld it all in here, and it doesn't matter. It's holding. I welded it on the end and a few places across the end there, but that's 1/4 inch thick, 1 1/4 by 1 1/4 angle iron is what that is. And the whole thing, I think I made it 8 inches wide, if that's important to you. The only thing that it was important to me, dimension-wise, I wanted this to be long enough that on a pallet that uses 1x6s instead of these 1x4s, I wanted to be able to get under it. Now see, this is actually a 1x6, or at least close to a 1x6. And see, it'll still, see, there's about 1/4 inch sticking out right there. Okay? That's why I use 7 inches for that dimension. But it's also dependent on how thick this leg of your angle iron is too, because that's how much it's going to be sticking out. Okay? I'm going to grind on that a little bit, pretty it up, maybe slap a coat of paint on it, because that's going to come to a lot of good use around here. Okay? And now I don't work quick. at anything. I can't, even if I wanted to. Okay, I just don't get in no hurry. But if you wanted to get in a hurry, I'm guessing you could probably have a whole pallet knocked down in probably a minute, minute and a half. I don't know how long this is taking me. I don't care, you know. It isn't like I'm ever going to be done with this job. That's why I'm doing this. I'm not ever going to be done with this job because I'm always bringing home more pallets. There we go. See? Okay, so we're gonna. Yep. Then we're gonna. Okay, it's just gonna break it. Okay, we'll probably have to knock that piece off with the pry bar. See? Pops them right out of there, pulls the nails. I do have a trick or two. I'm gonna show you. I'll do something later on about breaking down pallets. If y'all are interested in seeing something like that. If you'd like to see that, leave me a comment, let me know. If ain't nobody interested, I may not bother. There it goes. Now we'll move over here. Be careful. Be careful working around these when you go to popping these boards off, because, you know, naturally, the nails are still in them. Okay. There's always got to be a stubborn one in the bunch, huh? Come on now. Okay, well, it's breaking that all apart. There we go. Now, one thing you can do when you're taking that last side off, hold it down. Up there. See how that goes to raise it up? Just push it down a little bit, and then put a little muscle. It only takes a little muscle because that's all Chuck's got. And you see me doing it, so hold that down a little bit, like that. Okay. Let me pour that big one right on the end. See if I can get a little bit better leverage on it. Okay, well, there's always going to be a stubborn one, I guess, if I had a little more strength. I get that big mule of a boy out here of mine. He's at school right now, but he can pop him down. Then the trick, once you do this, all that's left, you got to pull the nails. If you're using it in an application where you're not worried about pulling the nails, you can just take a hammer and bend them over. Anyway, that's how we use the pallet tool here. And you've seen how it works. It's not perfect, but it is a lot better. You'll see I didn't crack a board taking them off of there that wasn't already cracked on the pallet.